We continue our EOC warm-ups. We're going to be doing more material of the old things before we get into new material for today. Question before we get started? Huh? Bring me up pass. You have passes. Thank you. Okay, here we go, guys. Getting started. Identify the slope and point in the given equation. There's no work to do here. All you're doing is pulling out the information, which is your m equals and your point, not the b equals, a point. This has not got 0 as the first number. This is point slope form, and in point slope form, guys, just so we're clear about this, it looks like this: y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Have that on there because that's something I could ask you for that we wrote down. Okay, in point slope form, this is going to represent your slope. These two numbers go together to represent your point. Remember that this formula has minuses in it, so when you pull them out, whatever the numbers are for the point, they're going to be the opposite of what they were to begin with. So in this case, the slope is going to come from right here, which is negative 3 over 5. The point is going to come from here for the x. The opposite of negative 1 is going to put it at 1. The opposite of plus 7 is going to put it at negative 7. That's all it asks you to do. It did not ask you to do anything with these. It asked you to actually just pull out that information to identify them. And that will be the end of that question. Does anybody have anything on number 13? Yes. Because the formula actually has minuses in it, so that means the opposite of. That's why when I say a negative sign in front of a variable, I don't say negative x, I say the opposite of x. Because if the variable is negative to begin with, the opposite of a negative is a positive. So when you hear me say the opposite of a variable, that's why I say that. So it's always the opposite of whatever you plug in for that number when it's in that formula. Yep. So whatever you plug in, if you want to write it out the formal way, like for this, the y plus 7, it's really y minus negative 7. But we don't write double signs, we write it as plus 7. Is that better? Visual? Anybody else? There's a couple formulas in algebra that deal with that negative, that you've got a slope as a negative in between the formulas. This formula, point slope formula, has it. The equation of a circle in geometry has it. Distance formula in geometry has them. So they show up a lot. So it's important to see that. That's a very good question. Okay, guys, getting into the next one. The sum of two numbers is 18. The difference of the same two numbers is 4. What is the lesser of the two numbers? This is going to be a system. It's giving you two unknowns. It's giving you two sentences about them. We've got two numbers, so x equals the first number, y equals the second number. What does the word sum mean when you're dealing with these two numbers? Addition. So x plus y equals 18. What does the word difference mean when you're talking about these two numbers? Subtraction. So x minus y equals, what is it? Is 4. So it equals 4. We're then going to solve this by elimination because, guys, listen, this one's a really easy one to solve by elimination because it already eliminates. You can already cancel this out. But here's where people are going to make a mistake. What is x plus x? 2x equals 22. Divide both sides by 2, and x equals 11. Okay. We take and we plug that back into either equation. I'm going to plug it into the one with the addition because the numbers are easier to deal with. I don't have a negative sign to deal with. I don't make a careless error with that. So I'm going to plug it back into here as 11 plus y equals 18. I'm going to minus 11 from both sides. And when I do that, that's going to leave me y equals 18 minus 11, put me at 7. Now, answering the question is something you've got to make sure you know how to do. Guys, The answer to this question is a sentence answer. What would you say when you answer that question? Got a couple people that are getting there. It says, what is the lesser of the two numbers? The lesser of the two numbers is 7. Exactly what they asked for. The lesser of the two numbers is 7. Just be direct. Don't try to get fancy in your sentences. One of the biggest things I see is people make careless errors and they get it wrong because they try to do something fancy in the work or try to give a fancy answer. Don't do it. Just answer the question like it is being asked. I'm just boxing in the answers so you know what the answers are if you're ever asked that on on the folder check. So here's the answers to this one. There are 2 answers here. Here's the answer to this one. It's the sentence answer. Does anybody see anything on 13 or 14 before we pull it down? 13 or 14 before we pull it down. Okay, here we go. Bottom part of this, write an equation for the graph shown below. Guys, they love to do this on there. Please make sure you know how to deal with this. First of all, you're going to be dealing with y equals mx plus b. In order to deal with this equation, that's going to need a m and a b. So we need an m. To do slope, you're going to have to find intersection points. You're looking for all the places where the line intersects on this graph that we can find where it crosses the grid. There are a total of, you can't really see that last one, 4 that I can see. You're looking where this red line crosses your grid intersection points. They are evenly spaced. They will always be evenly spaced on a linear equation because slope is a constant rate of change. Because it is constant, those stairs will be the exact same all the way up. How much are you going up? And how much are you going over? How much up, guys? 3. And how many over? And 3 over 1 reduces to a slope of 3. We can now fill in that part of the graph. Part of the equation from the graph. It's going to be y equals 3x. You got the first half. Now you just need the second half. To get the second half of this, you're looking for where the line crosses the y-axis. You're looking for the b. In order to find the b, you're going to put 0 as the first number and you're going to go to the graph and look where the line crosses that. Right here is that intersection point. Where is that at? It may not be where you think it is, so look at the numbering very carefully on the picture. It's not at 4. Not at negative 4. It's at negative what? Negative 1. You see how the graph, even though it's counting by fourths in between, that this is all 1 all the way to the darker grid line. So this is negative 1 down here. If we erase and let you see the numbering, you can see it right there beside it. Alright. So once you've got that, you're going to plug that into your problem, which is minus 1 on the end, and that is the equation of the line that is shown in this picture. Okay, guys. Last one. It's about slope. We just did it in the last picture. We're going to be looking for intersection points. Where are the intersection points? Let's see. I got one here. I've got one here, and I've got one here. There are 3 that are showing. Get those on there first. You've got to have those in order to be able to do the problem. You're going to be doing slope on this. Now guys, remember this test is on the computer, so you're going to need to actually be able to work on the, if you can't do that, you have a piece of paper that will have a graph on the back of it. You can use that graph to draw the pictures if you need to. If you need more graph paper, ask for it. They're supposed to provide you as much paper as you need. Only 1 page out of the little booklet is graph paper, so if you need more, ask for more on the day of the EOC. They will provide it to you. Okay, to find slope, which is the only thing we're doing, we're going to be using the formula rise over run on the graph. So we are going to see how much it is rising and see how much you are running to get to that answer. Oh, sorry, my line's a little off. Let me try that again. How much are we going up? How much are we going over? So how much are we rising, guys? 3. And how much are we running? 4. But because we went to the left, that's going to make it what kind of 4? Negative 4. So it's 3 over negative 4. Now please listen to me. On the test, they may write this answer as negative 3 over 4, as negative 3 over 4, or as 3 over negative 4. And all of these are the exact same answer. The negative can be on the top, can be in the middle, or can be on the bottom, and it means the exact same thing. Does anybody have any questions about that? Wonderful. Put that in your folders when you are done. That is our warm-up for today.